Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode here of the NordCast. It is Thursday, February 29th, 2024. I am your host here at Nordic 97, and as I said, it's just me today. So, we're making these kinds of podcast episodes for the video and the audio listeners, mainly because we want to make more videos on trades that happen during the week when we don't record an episode. That's one thing that I want to do more in the year of 2024. So we're going to start off with the Chris Tanev deal today and go more in depth with that in a more in-depth discussion. Look at the prospects, look at the draft picks, look at all the good stuff and analyze who really won this deal. So for those who do not know, defenseman Chris Tanev was traded to the Dallas Stars with 75% salary retained, along with goaltender Cole Brady from the New Jersey Devils. In exchange, the Devils acquired a 2026 fourth-round pick because they retained 25% on the Tanev deal. The Flames were the team that retained 50% on Tanev, and they got a 2024 second-round pick. Defenseman Artem Grushnikov, a 2026 conditional third-round pick. And if Dallas makes the 2024 Cup final, they will receive that third-round pick. If not, then they just get the other two assets that I listed. So let's go through this trade individually. We'll start off with the Dallas side of things, and then we'll get into the Flames and the Devils. So getting a guy like Chris Tanev for Dallas is huge. You look at Dallas in the playoffs, one of the biggest things that Dallas didn't really have was defense, especially right shot defense. That's one thing that has not been great for Dallas, and that's one thing that I looked at in my deadline previews, saying that the Stars need to improve in that. And they did. Getting a guy like Tanev, who isn't the best offensively, only has 14 points in 56 games played, that's still not bad numbers for a defensive defenseman, a guy who will lay his body on the line, block shots for you. That's the kind of player that Dallas needs. And getting him for a second-round pick when the asking price was a first-round pick, I think is great for Dallas overall. So getting a guy like Tanev is very helpful for them and their defense. And as well as that, too, they still have their first-round pick. So the odds are is that they are going to be able to make more moves with that first-round pick still. So they might not be done here at this deadline. And they're one of the teams that I mentioned, too, is one of the more active teams, even though there isn't a whole lot of, rumors saying that, oh, they're interested in this guy, they're interested in that guy. No, they're making calls on everyone. They're just kind of quiet when it comes to that. That's kind of the smart thing with Dallas. The other guy they acquired is goaltender Cole Brady. From what I can see, he was drafted in 2019 by the New Jersey Devils. He is unsigned, so I believe he's going to have to be signed to a contract by the end of this season for him to be on the Dallas Stars. If not, then I think he just walks to free agency and just doesn't sign. He's played 9 games this season with UMass, has a 3.03 and a .886. Those aren't stellar numbers, but they aren't terrible either. I'm not surprised the Devils wanted to move this guy because he really hasn't negotiated with them from what I can tell. So Brady, kind of a C-D level goaltending prospect there. Kind of a guy that I think the Devils just wanted to get rid of from the looks of it. So yeah, overall, Dallas made out pretty well. I thought they did very good in this trade. I give them an A-, just because of how, the fact that the rumors were that Tanev was going to cost a first-round pick. He didn't. He ended up not. So it's a good thing there that Dallas got him for a second and a B-level prospect, I'd say. So let's go to Calgary now. Calgary obviously got that 2024 second-round pick, which it will be a later second-round pick. It won't be an earlier one, so a much later one, especially if Dallas goes on and wins the Stanley Cup, then yeah, it'll be a much later one. Artem Grushnikov, from what the looks of it, isn't a bad defenseman, more of a defensive type guy. Grushnikov can act both as a supporting element in a defensive pairing, the element who glues himself to off-puck attackers and denies them passes, and the engager. That's from the 2021 NHL Draft Guide. He was drafted 48th overall in the second round by the Calgary Flames in that 2021 draft. He currently has 5 points in 44 games played with the Texas Stars. I meant to say that he was drafted by Dallas, not the Calgary Flames. Sorry. He's on Calgary now. So Grushnikov, from what I can tell, is a B-level defensive prospect. Not a guy that is going to make a huge impact for Calgary. He's still a ways away. He's still developing. He's a guy who's not going to score a lot for you. But then again, Calgary got a guy like Brushevix in the other trade with Lindholm. So their defense could be stacking up to be pretty solid here with Grushnikov as a good defensive guy, and then Brucevic as the other offensive type, defenseman. I'm just speculating now. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but still a very solid, not a bad return there. And then the conditional third is all if Dallas makes the Cup final. That's just all it is. And as for the Devils got 2026 fourth. It's kind of weird why they're making a move like this. I found it a little bit strange, because the Devils were viewed as a team that was going to, buy in at the deadline. Why are they retaining salary from another player? That kind of tells me maybe they're giving up on the playoffs. Maybe they're not going to go buy in. I really don't know, to be honest with you. From what I can tell, they were interested in Jacob Markstrom. Calgary just came out today and said that they want to keep him. So I imagine that is what's going to happen, and they're going to keep Jacob Markstrom. That's kind of what I see happening here. As it goes for trade grades, I gave Dallas an A-, as I mentioned. Calgary, I gave a C+. They didn't have a horrible return, but when the expectation is that you're going to get a first-round pick, getting a second and a mid-level prospect is very underwhelming. And then the Devils, I gave a C just because, they got a fourth for retaining, and they got rid of a contract. I get he's not even signed. They got rid of a unsigned goalie, I guess. So, not a big move there for the Devils. But one of the questions that I've seen over the last couple of hours is, does the price of Tanev, since he got a second-round pick, does that mean that other guys like Sean Walker, Matt Dumba, other defensemen, are their returns going to get decreased? Are they not going to get a first-round pick back in return? So I found this tweet from Anthony DeMarco. He said, Calgary made it very clear before the season they would not lose their pending UFAs for nothing. Philadelphia doesn't feel they have to trade any of their guys, especially in the midst of a playoff push. And then he said that he doesn't think that the Tanev deal will sway their ideal return for Walker in any way, meaning Sean Walker, the Philadelphia Flyers. So I don't know. I feel like I value Tanev over Walker, even though Walker's having a really good season. I think Tanev's a better defensive guy. Walker's playing really well, but then again, there's the fact that maybe Nick Seeler gets moved with him. So I don't think the return for Walker will get changed. I don't think that's the expectation. I think that Conroy in Calgary may have seen a better deal in place here with the Calgary Flames and saw something better in Grushnikov and viewed him as a better player for this team. Maybe that's what they went in the direction of. Or maybe they just weren't seeing any first on the market out there and wanted to get rid of Tanev. That's another possibility there. But honestly, I severely doubt that. I think Toronto was even in on trying to get Tanev, and they were trying to get a deal on Tanev. So definitely that's something that I keep in mind when I look at that. But yeah, overall, I don't think Walker's value or Dumba's value will change at all, even though the fact that the Coyotes' price for Dumba is a first-round pick is actually hilarious. I don't know how you think you're going to get a first-round pick for him. I don't understand it. But anyways, that's all I got for this trade. I figured it'd be cooler to go more in depth with it because obviously it happened last night. I had high school hockey playoffs, so I couldn't make a specific video on it that quickly. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on this trade. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. If you're listening on the NordCast end of things on the audio, be sure to give us a good review and keep listening to more episodes. So yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.